So here is how to create ordered and unordered list in HTML. So I do have a folder right here that I call the ordered and unordered, and if you should open that up, there is nothing in it right here. So this is just a folder, an empty folder right here. So what I want to do right here is to create an index file inside of here. So this is going to be index.html, and let's make sure I type HTML correctly. This is going to be HTML. Open that up. And I want to generate my HTML boilerplate. So if I type exclamation and then hit tab right here, so about that I don't have to have that highlighted. But once I type this and then hit on tab, it's going to generate this for me. And you have to have something like image installed in your Visual Studio Code to be able to do this. Even though I think this actually comes pre-installed in that of the Visual Studio Code, alright? So but if you're using any other editor, you may have to like install image before you can actually do this particular shortcut. So I want to change this to ordered and unordered list. Alright, so probably that's actually what I'm going to use as maybe my H1 right here. Just want to have that in there, and I want to go ahead and then let's just try to close this out right here. I do not actually need this, so it should be in this way. So we do have ordered and unordered lists. So let's paste that right here. So what we want to do is to create, let's work with ordered list first of all. So I want to have right here, I'm going to just go ahead and just do for ordered list, we're going to do something like OL to create ordered list. And inside of this OL, we can go ahead and then we need to have our list inside of it. All right. But first of all, let's try to close this out. This is going to be OL. And then within these two right here, open and close, we need to like basically have our L1, Li right there. And I'm going to just do I'm going to just do something like books as the first item in there. And I'm going to just basically copy this, maybe paste it 4 times. And this, we have books right here, and then we're going to have desk, and we'll have maybe something like school dress. We have pencils, and then we have something like chairs, something of that nature. All right, so this is just basically, we should just like have maybe a paragraph right here, and then we can go ahead and now call this school materials, and we can go ahead and then close the p tag in here. All right, and then if we save the changes right here, what I basically want to see is how that kind of looks in the browser. And if I double click on this, you're going to see that it opens in the browser, and then you see that it's actually numbers from number 1 to number 5 right there. But whereas where I was typing it right here, I didn't actually have those numbers right here. So what this means is that if you do have OL, which is ordered list, it's going to like list the items in a ordered form, right? And we do like the default is actually 1 2 3, that's digits right here, but you can actually change that if you want to. So if we get in here and just do something like type, and maybe we want to change this to alphanumeric, you can change this to something like maybe it's going to be A. Save the changes right here. If we go back to the browser and refresh, you see that it changes the pattern of the numbering. If you also want to use that as capital letters or uppercase letters, first change this to uppercase letter, then refresh my browser right here, you see that it also changes. You can also use I don't know what this is actually called, but maybe it's Roman numeral, something like that. So I'm going to save this right here, and once you refresh, you see that it also names that in such type of figures. All right, so there are some other ones you can also do if you want to do that, guys, but I'm going to just basically stop at that one right there. Then next thing I want to do is that I want to just basically copy this, and what I want to do down here is to basically this is going to be that of the unordered list, right? So for that reason, let's start by taking away the OL first of all, and then use UL, and also convert this to something like UL. And this is just basically what we have right here. So if we save the changes in here, and then we go to our browser and then refresh, you see that the school materials is also going to show down here, but then it comes in such a way that it just uses something like dots to be able to like number them. All right, so and the difference for between these that we have up here and this is, let's say for instance, if you have items that you need to list in an another. You want to use something like order the list, all right? So maybe from the least to the highest or from the highest to the lowest, you can just use order the list. But if the way that they are actually appear does not actually need it to be in any order, you can use unordered the list. And it's pretty simple, right? So the next thing I want to do before we close is you can also like change the type of numbering that we do have in there. So if I do type and I will go ahead and set this, and we have something that is also, I think naturally the one that is actually right there right now is actually called I think it should be disk. Let me just try. If I type disk right here, and I want you to pay attention to the pattern of the number right here. Let's see what is going to appear. Okay, so the default is actually disk, and we can actually change that from disk to another pattern right here. So let's say that what we want to use right now is actually going to be, let's say it's going to be square. So if I do square right here and save the changes, I don't know if I got the spelling correctly, but if we refresh, you see that the pattern, it kind of a changes. So these are now squares right here. We also have another one. So if we change this right here and then we do something like maybe this is going to be circle, and we can save the changes. And if we refresh right here, you see that this pattern also changed. All right, the pattern of the numbering also changed. So if you don't want to have any at all, you can change this to none. So if we go back in here and just say none, you're going to notice that the items are going to get listed, but they wouldn't actually have any type of ordered unordered type right here. Okay, so it's pretty up to you. So we've done none, we've done square, and we've done circle, and also we have what is it called? I think we've also done that of the disk. So this is just what it is, guys, and I hope that you guys kind of understand this and then you do enjoy the video. So if you actually enjoyed it, just feel free to give the video a thumbs up and feel free to comment in the comment section below if you have any questions, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.